All right, so you might have saw the news yesterday. Meta Platforms and Facebook, they have partnered with the UFC and they are now the official fan technology partner of the UFC. Here's the statement. As UFC's first official fan technology partner, Meta will collaborate with the UFC to use Meta's technology platforms, services and products, including Meta AI, Meta Glasses, Meta Quest, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp and Threads to immerse fans deeper into UFC content than ever before. In addition, Meta will become the official AI glasses partner of the UFC and will work with the UFC to creatively use their groundbreaking AI glasses in compelling ways at each event. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, realistically. I'm not here to talk about any of the other stuff. So given all of the technology that Meta has available to them, I think the experience for the fans is going to just get absolutely crazy. We're going to start learning a lot more things and the stats are going to go through the roof and the fan experience is going to get even better. We're talking about speed, power, heart rate, the speed that they cover distance and things like that. I'm not saying this, by the way, as a UFC spokesperson or a commentator or anything like that. I'm just saying this as a fan that's looking at this and reading it and thinking, wow, the possibilities are endless. And these aren't the Meta AI glasses. These are just some blue light glasses, which apparently are good for stopping eye strain when you're in front of screens all day long. It minimizes headaches and apparently it's good for your eyes. So anyway, I'm wearing them now and they don't look too bad. Anyway, let me know in the comment section how much of a dickhead I look. So, first of all, AI, that is going to be implemented in the ranking system. We've seen Dana White talking about this for quite some time. He's often had some issues and there's been some crazy rankings, to be honest.
We've already started to work with Meta to create a new fighter ranking system that will debut later this year. Thank God.
Having an AI ranking system, that is going to remove all of the bias from it. Simple as that, right? It's that easy, okay? And they've used AI judges before. I think it was when Tyson Fury fought Saudi Arabia. And the AI judge agreed with the human judge, okay? So essentially, they got it correct. To be honest, when it comes to the rankings, it really shouldn't be that hard. If number 6 beats number 5, well, then number 6 should progress up the rankings to be ranked number 5. It really isn't that hard, but there has been some crazy rankings over the years. So anyway, that's a simple one. That's an easy one. But the stuff that gets me excited is the technology that Meta has and how are they going to improve the experience for us as fans and consumers of the sport. Listen, the stats and all the information that we're given as fans is improving all the time. But I think there's going to be a world one day where we get extra stuff. Things like the speed of a punch thrown. Think about it in baseball. When they throw the ball, they can say how fast it was, 100 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour, whatever. Think about the speed of a punch being thrown. It could be listed or it could be shown on the Meta Glasses or on a screen in the arena. And you're like, holy shit, it's a good job he missed that one. That punch was 120 miles an hour. Or that head kick that he just moved out the way. And it makes it look even more impressive that the fighter was able to dodge that. So we're going to see speed, and I think they could have little sensors inside the gloves. It really isn't that hard. There is technology out there already. You can buy gloves online that will register how much force you have generated in a punch. So they could easily put some little sensors inside the gloves, and then with the RayBan Meta Glasses, you can get all that information on the lens, so it looks like it's right there in real time, as if you're in like some kind of virtual reality world. Now, this isn't an advert, by the way, for the Meta Glasses. A mate of mine, Jimmy, that works for the UFC, he had a pair when we were in London. Those things are just unbelievable. I'm telling you right now, I can't wait to get a pair. $300. This is not an ad, I promise. $300, they look pretty good. They look better than these anyway. $300, they look decent. You get your prescription in them, and the stuff that they can do is unbelievable. You can play music on them. No one else can hear the music, but to you, it's like you've got a pair of noise-cancelling headphones on, of course. Anything you're looking at and seeing, the glasses record. It immediately gets transferred to your phone. The quality's really good. The microphone's really good. You can do phone calls on it, photo, video capture, music playback, calls, messaging, live streaming. You get Meta AI and real-time translation, touch and voice control. It does sound like I'm doing an ad. I'm not, right? These things are great, but it's the next version of these glasses that have got me really excited. As I say, if you put the sensors in a glove, the sensor can tell how much force was generated. And that's significant because we always talk about damage being the number one scoring criteria in mixed martial arts. And it should be, okay? We're not trying to hold people down. We're not trying to push them up against the fence. We're trying to do damage. We're trying to finish our opponent. So that's why now it's changed. In the past, if you took somebody down and you led on top of them, well, you got the takedown and you're winning the fight. Now you've got to do something with it. In the judge's eyeballs, that should only be seen as a change of position. And that's why now you see people off their back, dropping elbows, dropping little rabbit punches, hammer fists, 12 to 6 elbows. The person on his back, that's doing that. that person's winning the fight. So if it registers how much force was in the punch, then of course, the fans kind of get an idea of how much damage it's doing to the opponent and whether or not that was a significant shot. Like, for example, sometimes you swing a big, massive shot and you see a fighter just take it, no problem. And you think, wow, that was a huge shot. This guy's got an incredible chin. Maybe just the way that he threw the shot and the way that it connected, there just wasn't much force generated. So it would give us a much broader understanding of what the fighter's going through inside the cage and what his experience is and what he's actually feeling. So I think going forward, it's going to be fantastic. And of course, we're going to have interactive features that are going to come up on screens or on the glasses, interactive features during live events and at home using these new glasses. That overlays, as I say, speed, power, heart rate. That's going to be a good one. If you can measure someone's heart rate and it's showing it on there, it's like, whoa, this guy's redlining. We're only in round 1 and he's at 120 BPM already, okay? This guy's going to gas. Or if he does go 3 rounds or 5 rounds at that crazy pace, then you just realize what a special athlete or fighter that we're dealing with. So it really will give us a better understanding and a larger appreciation of what these fighters are going through. Of course, fan voting in between rounds. You just push a button on the glasses and you say everyone in the arena, 73% voted for this guy. Of course, that wouldn't influence the judges. And to be honest, none of this information should be made available to the judges. That's why all the stats that they currently have, like when we're commentating, we have an unofficial strike count because mistakes can happen. Of course, technology gets things wrong all the time. So therefore, the judges shouldn't be privy to that information and they should do it with their own 2 eyes. I would like to see more judges though. And fair play to Mark Zuckerberg because this probably all started with his love of MMA. Of course, we saw him initially. He was training in BJJ. I think he's currently a blue belt. Competed in some tournaments. He got a gold medal and a silver medal. Then he progressed to being ringside at the UFC, of course, standing there with Dana White. He was ringside at UFC 300. He's hanging out with Merab Dvalishvili. He's hanging out with Alex Pereira, giving it the chammer and all that type of stuff. Hanging out on yachts with Izzy and Volkanovski. Just these guys living their absolute best lives. Who can forget that clip? It's kind of funny. He's in the corner with Volkanovski and he looks a little bit confused. And then, of course, there was all the talk of the fight at the Coliseum versus Elon Musk, okay? Which is crazy because Elon's got a much bigger fight on his hands right now and everyone's attacking Teslas, which is absolutely insane. My wife drives a Tesla and there is zero political posturing in that whatsoever. And if any little knobhead abuses my wife or scratches that car, there will be hell to pay.
If you want some, I'll give it you.
Anyway, back to what I was talking about now. Meta is now the UFC's official fan technology partner. And it just got me thinking about some of the possibilities. As I say, these are not the glasses. I'll take them off right now. Although I do think they look kind of cool. Let me know again what they look like. But I am ordering some of them. This is not an ad. This is not an ad at all. But when you start thinking about it and you start scratching the surface about some of the stuff that might be possible down the line. I mean, look at UFC 306 at the Sphere. That was unbelievable. Then we had the other event at the Intuit Dome. Insane graphics there. Now we got these glasses and Meta partnering with the UFC. I'm telling you, the face of mixed martial arts is going to change. Where it's going to be in 10 years from now, the sport will essentially be the same. Fighting is the oldest sport on the planet. Man against man. Just trying your best, train your ass off, get as good as you can. Yes, the technology around fighting and the science behind it is improving all the time, but the sport doesn't change. But the fan experience can, and I'm very excited to see what that's going to be in the future. Anyway, let me know what you think about everything what I just said. Subscribe, ring the bell. See you soon.